The Lakers pulled out an absolute masterclass this offseason. But let's go back to where this all started and why Rob Pelinka should win NBA Exclusive of the Year. The trade deadline, and the Lakers are 25-30 on the season. And at that time, Kyrie Irving requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. And many Laker fans really wanted Kyrie Irving on the team. And the Lakers actually tried to go ahead and trade for him. But the Nets wanted Austin Reeves and other young assets to get the deal to go through, so Rob Pelinka said no. So Kyrie Irving ended up going to the Dallas Mavericks with the trade centered around Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and picks. Many Lakers fans were really disappointed that they couldn't get Kyrie on the team, and they thought the season was over. And then, out of nowhere, the Lakers made a 3-team trade. And in this trade, the Lakers will be trading away Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano Anderson, and Damian Jones in a first-round pick in order to acquire D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. And then Mike Conley and Nickeil Alexander-Walker went on to get traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And this is exactly what the Lakers needed. They replaced Russell Westbrook with a point guard that I think that would fit a little bit better in D'Angelo Russell. They got their much-needed defense with Jared Vanderbilt, and they also got the much-needed shooting from Malik Beasley. And Laker fans were really happy that they were managed to complete this trade. And man, in my opinion, I think the Lakers actually fleeced. Not to mention that they basically actually traded Russell Westbrook and only a first-round pick to get all three of those guys because Juan Toscano Anderson and Damian Jones were not playing with the team. Or at least Darvin Ham never subbed them into the game. But the Lakers trade deadline was not completely over yet. They traded Thomas Bryant, the center that was actually playing really good for them, averaging around 12 points per game. They traded him to the Denver Nuggets for Devon Reed and 3 second-round picks. They say Thomas Bryant actually requested a trade from the team because he had a smaller role now that Anthony Davis was back with the team. And at that time, he was hurt and he was the starting center for them, actually playing pretty decent, but the defense was not there. And after trading Thomas Bryant, the Lakers went ahead and made one more move. They went ahead and traded Patrick Beverley over to the Orlando Magic for Mo Bamba. I feel like that was a very good trade for the Lakers because Patrick Beverley ended up being bought out and then he went ahead and signed the Chicago Bulls. So they basically got Mo Bamba for basically nothing. They got him for a second-round pick because I think that was included in the deal as well. But I really like that trade for the Lakers. They get a floor-spacing big and Mo Bamba that can shoot, defend, sometimes score. I feel like it's a very good addition for their team. So yeah, the Lakers basically assembled this entire team at the trade deadline, and there was not enough chemistry, but they still were winning a lot of games. And they managed to go from the 12th and 13th seed all the way to a play-in team. They managed to go all the way up to the 7th seed after making all those new additions. And when they were winning those games here, Austin Reeves turned into a really good role player for the Lakers. It just felt like all of a sudden he was playing out of his mind. He even got a career-high 35 points versus the Orlando Magic. Also, LeBron James did get injured in that time phase, and they were still able to make the playoffs with the depth that they had. I feel like, yeah, that depth really changed the Lakers' season. That trade deadline, it really changed their season, and they managed to make the play-in to play the Minnesota Timberwolves, the team that actually helped them get D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. And they did end up winning that game. D'Angelo Russell really didn't do much for the Lakers to help them win, but they did win that game from that big Dennis Schroeder 3 and that iconic 3-point celebration. So yeah, now they were in the playoffs, but they had a very tough task. They had to defeat the Memphis Grizzlies. And at the time, Steven Adams was hurt, so he wasn't going to play for the entire series. And in Game 1, Rui Hachimura went off for 29 points. Austin Reeves went off as well with 23. And with that production out of their role players, they were able to go ahead and beat the Memphis Grizzlies in 6 games. But in the second round, they had to play the Golden State Warriors, which everybody thought Anthony Davis should dominate in the series, as I thought so as well. But AD did not play the way people expected him to play. He was very inconsistent. It felt like one game he was really good, the next game he was really bad. But with the help of the supporting cast like D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, and the rest of the guys, they were able to beat the Golden State Warriors in 6 once again. And in the third round of the playoffs, it became much, much harder. They had to play the Denver Nuggets, and the Nuggets are a very, very good team with Bruce Brown, KCP, Jamal Murray, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. It was a very good team. And the Lakers ended up getting swept by the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets were just a better team than that. This is how it happens. And here comes the offseason, and the Los Angeles Lakers have the 17th overall pick in the draft, which they can either choose to draft a young rookie or trade the pick for like a win-now player. And on draft day, the Lakers actually decided to make a trade. Well, it's not really a big trade. Basically, the Lakers traded pick 49 in the draft in the second round for pick 40 in the second round in cash. Yeah, it wasn't a big trade, but heading into the draft here, the Lakers seemed to keep the pick and to add a young rookies to the team. And with the 17th overall pick in the draft, the Lakers went ahead and selected Jalen Hood-Schifino. And with their second overall pick, they went ahead and selected Maxwell Lewis, which I think is a really good pick. People had him being a first-round pick, and for him to fall all the way to pick 40 is absolutely amazing for the Lakers. And all around, I feel like it was a really good draft for the Lakers. But coming up next were the team options of Malik Beasley and Mo Bamba. Malik Beasley had almost a $17 million team option, and Mo Bamba had $10 million. And some Laker fans suggested that they should go ahead and accept them both and then look for a trade, but they actually decided to go ahead and decline them both. But they did extend the qualifying offer of Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. But heading into free agency here, the Lakers only had a couple players under contract, and those players being Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Max Christie, and Jared Vanderbilt. And Rob Pelinka and the Lakers were filled with a pretty tough task of building a contender after getting swept in the first round by the Denver Nuggets. And on the first couple of minutes in free agency, the Lakers actually went ahead and signed Taurean Prince on a $4.5 million contract. And I feel like it was a great signing for that value as well. Taurean Prince is a really good wing for any team. And the Lakers definitely needed three-point shooting. And last year, he shot about 38% from three, so that definitely really helps the Lakers. So the Lakers signed him using their biannual exception, which means they still had a mid-level exception. And then the Lakers used their mid-level exception to go ahead and sign Gabe Vincent to a 3-year, $33 million deal. And once again, another great signing for the LA Lakers. Gabe Vincent is another really good three-point shooter and attack defender. And then right after that, they went ahead and signed Cam Reddish. So Cameron Reddish definitely didn't live up to the potential as he was, and he's not the best three-point shooter, but I think he will be a nice fit for a backup shooting guard for this Lakers team. Or they can definitely give that role to Max Christie, but it was a minimum contract, so it's not like they're paying him money to go ahead and play a lot. And then they went ahead and signed Jackson Hayes to a minimum contract, which is another guy that really hasn't lived up to the potential. But I feel like he would be a nice backup center for this Lakers team. But now let's talk about who they re-signed. They re-signed Rui Hachimura to a 3-year, $51 million contract. Really good contract for somebody like him that played really, really good in the playoffs. They re-signed Austin Reeves to a 4-year, $56 million deal. Austin Reeves will be the number one guy that they would have to bring back no matter what. They re-signed D'Angelo Russell to a 2-year, $37 million contract, which many Lakers fans do not like him anymore because of his bad playoff performance, which is not like he played bad the entire playoffs. I think it was only one series, and that was versus the Denver Nuggets. So the Lakers were obviously the winners of free agency. But their offseason was still not done yet. They extended Anthony Davis to a 5-year extension worth $260 million. And then all of a sudden, we started hearing rumors about Christian Wood heading to LA, which I thought eventually he would get a contract more than a minimum, but I guess not. It looks like a team was not willing to offer him more than a minimum contract, which the Lakers coveted him for so long. And then on a random night, the Lakers signed Christian Wood to a minimum contract. Once again, he's not the best defender, but I think him on the minimum contract would be absolutely amazing. Christian Wood is a very good stretch 5, really good 3-point shooter, and a very good offensive player for sure. And then a couple of weeks or days after that, they went ahead and extended Jared Vanderbilt to a 5-year, $48 million extension with a player option at the end. And after all these moves, the Lakers obviously were the #1 winners of the offseason. They definitely got way better than last season. Austin Reeves will be a lot better. And I feel like the only thing that is holding this team back from a championship is LeBron and Anthony Davis. Not them entirely. It's just like, what if they get injured, man? Because they're both kind of getting older. And then, yeah, LeBron and AD have not had the best injury history with the Lakers. So if they can stay healthy, that would be absolutely amazing. And if they can stay healthy, they can probably win a championship and be a legitimate contender in the Western Conference. And they only have 14 players in their roster, so they can definitely sign another guy. But as today, they have not signed anybody. And recently, Buddy Hield requested a trade from the Pacers, and maybe that could come in handy here. Maybe the Lakers can go ahead and get Buddy Hield, but I just don't think it's going to happen. They have nobody to really match his salary, and whoever trades for Buddy Hield will most likely has to give him a new contract. A big one too. So I don't suggest the Lakers trade for Buddy Hield. I think it's time to move on. I think their team is complete the way it is. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, have a great day.